that keeps unfolding across the county and in Africa at large. How many of us are happy for that? How many of us? Nobody, not so? Everybody wants to see an end to corruption. Not so? But do you really think corruption can be eradicated completely? Do you think so?
Yes.
Do you think so?
Yes.
Good. So the no question, the no answer is what I'm going to use to base my presentation on. The fight against corruption starts with a mindset. Of course, I would have loved to give you a definition for corruption, but definitely that won't work because attempting to give a specific definition for corruption will lead to either some political, socio-economic default. So I won't want that. I won't give a specific definition. But you should understand that corruption is not just about giving money to somebody to act on a particular thing. It includes nepotism, favoritism, and many others. Okay? So it goes beyond just, giving money to somebody. There are these mega corruption things that we embark on. They are all forms of corruption. But the bottom line is, the fight against corruption begins with the development of the mindset. If you think corruption cannot be eradicated, then definitely we will not succeed in the fight against corruption. We will not succeed in the fight against corruption until somebody somewhere believes that the fight against corruption is winnable. That will be the time we will succeed in seeing a county that is corrupt-free. And I pray we achieve that in Sierra Leone. I pray we achieve that in Sierra Leone. But it begins with us. The action begins with having that mindset that the fight is winnable. When once you have that mindset that the fight is winnable, then we can achieve, we can reach that peak where we'll say our children are successful, where we'll say this money is for me and I'll get it, where we'll say the scholarship that is supposed to be given to the right person is given to the right person until that mindset is created. Okay? Now, of course, creating the mindset is one thing. What are the other things you've got to do? Because this one forms the crux of this presentation. They say the steps, the actions we should take. One of the actions after creating a mindset is getting yourself aware about what corruption really is. You have to know what corruption is. Until you know what is corruption, you will not know the importance of fighting corruption. Until you know what are the ills of corruption, what devastating effect does corruption have on us, you will definitely not know the importance of fighting corruption. You have to know, you have to opt to know, and the institutions that are given, that are charged with the responsibility of fighting corruption should ensure they sensitize the people. Sierra Leone has gone too far in the fight against corruption. In 2000, if I'm not to forget, Sierra Leone promulgated the Anti-Corruption Commission Act, which led to the establishment of the Anti-Corruption Commission. And then because by then they thought the commission, the act does not have or does not give the institution the power it needs, in 2008, it was given the power, the autonomy to look into cases to deal with corrupt officials. That was a very big move. It's a very big move. And Sierra Leone still continues to record a whole number of cases of corruption. So you ask yourself, is it that the fight against corruption is not winnable? To me, it is. But the thing is, we have not, or the institutions, the civil society organizations, the teachers and many other people, because the fight against corruption is not a one-man thing. It's not just the government. If you say it is only the government that should fight corruption, they will continue to wallow in that stinky thing. Will continue to wallow in it. It requires everybody's efforts. And the role of the civil society organizations cannot be overemphasized. There's need for us to educate the people out there about corruption, like what PAN is doing. I know it is deliberate. It is really, really deliberate on the side of PAN to choose this topic, because the thing, to be patriotic, one of the things you've got to have in you is to realize that if I become corrupt, I will endanger my country. So, PAN things, including corruption in the thing, will help promote the awareness about corruption. And that is what we see here today. Okay, so one thing is educating the people about corruption. And then let us not act as if we are still in the 18th, 17th century. Let us use the advantage of the 21st century. And that advantage is the advancement in information communication technology. Let us use that. Institutions must ensure that they move from that old ways of doing things to the new ways of doing things. It pays. We can achieve the fight. We can win it, provided we are ready to use the technologies that are at our disposal, provided we're ready. How does technology help in the fight against corruption? This direct contact thing is one of the reasons why this country still continues to record corrupt cases. It's one of the reasons. Of course, if we have an electromated system where you don't have to give money to somebody. Okay, let me just create one big example. Prior to this time, when teachers were paid on a desk, you know what happened? Those that were at the top, those that were giving the money to the teachers, reduced the monies of the teachers until the government and other people deemed it necessary to ensure that they start paying people via their accounts. Now, do you think their monies will be deducted? They will not so. Their monies will not be deducted. That's a way of reducing corruption. If our procurement systems are being done too, how do I call it, are being done electronically, definitely we will not have our procurement officers reducing monies, eating monies that are not meant for them. So it goes down to using the electronic that we have. Another thing, let us be bold to speak against corruption. Let us be bold. Most of us here are afraid. You just think that if you go speak against corruption, somebody somewhere will do a bad thing. But remember this, Philip Chinedu Ume, one of our fine African writers, who is a poet, and he writes the poem, is the poet for the poem Ambassadors of Poverty. And in the last line of the poem, the last stanza, he says, ambassadors of poverty are all of us whose actions and inactions steal away the collective will of our people. So your inaction to speak against corruption is a recipe, or is a cause to the increase in the number of corrupt cases across this country. If you see somebody indulging or taking part in a corrupt thing, speak up. Do not enslave yourself. You hear not to ban. Talk. Speak it out. It helps greatly. But most of us don't think speaking against corruption is the best thing to do. Of course, as I said, I will not be too, if I say I'm going to give a lot and lot of actions, we'll not finish here. Okay, let me just put the marginalization. Do you know what is marginalization? Yes? You don't know? Okay. Let me give you some synonyms for marginalization, or maybe just one. When you marginalize, you are stigmatizing, like you push person, you push and promote because of maybe culture, tribe, maybe political affiliation, and so you marginalize them. And marginalization is also very bad. It's also very bad. So, as citizens, that I don't know, I really don't know, but it's a must that we must love one another if really we want to achieve a peaceful Sierra Leone. We must see one another as brothers and sisters. If that one is not done, then we will not have achieved a peaceful Sierra Leone. So marginalization, putting somebody aside because of the person's political beliefs, the person's culture, the person's sex, it's not good. It's not good. How do we solve this? Let us just believe that, irrespective of the tribe, the political affiliation, the region the person finds him or herself, let us see that person as our own personal somebody. Let us be one another's keeper. I get in it. Let us be one another's keeper. If that one is done, then we will not be here talking of, I don't beat that person and that this guy not get this job because he's not me, because he's not me, because he's not me, whatsoever. So, for the injustice, it's a topic that is very broad as well. I told you, Pam has chosen a very big topic. I was just informed about it yesterday, but because I know my boss will be here, I had to ensure I glanced through some materials. A big man at the freedom. I don't want to be tortured when I go there. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I'll be very brief. So far, I will end with this. If we want to achieve a better Sierra Leone, let us don't allow our inactions, in the words of Philip Obinna to steal away the collective will of our people. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for starting. And the core national body members. One of them is our head of programs in the national body of PAN. He attended the Prince of Wales Secondary School in Freetown, Kingdom. That individual proceeded his education to the Frabe College, University of Sierra Leone. He is a communicator, a motivational speaker, and somebody who personally I am well pleased with. He shall be joining us on stage to be one of the judges. So let us welcome Mr. Usman Fabule. Please, let me appreciate. Please clap. Mr. Usman will be taking a seat over here. Let's clap for him once more. Person, that's our IT and head of media in PAN. A very outstanding individual. If you want to see all your pictures for this event kindly befriend him. The boss, a mentor, someone that is really ready to sacrifice everything for PAN. Before coming here, he's a professional, of course. So many people, especially Saturday and Sunday this weekend, there have been a lot of work for him. He left all of those monies and he came here with us. Let's clap for him, Mr. Mosoro. Please clap better for him. And for the national body, we have a very beautiful lady with us on the high table. She is the Deputy Administrator General in PAN, meaning she's responsible to run the day-to-day affairs of PAN in the entire Sierra Leone. She attended the St. Joseph Secondary School, known as Convent. She is in Frabe College studying mass communication, and of course, a leader and administrator. One thing that you cannot take away from her is the fact that she's very ugly. So let us clap for Madam Khadija to Bango. So when it comes to Khadija, you clap better. Because Usman and Tijana, man, our court judges are distinguished personality, and of course we have somebody who is here to help us in the process, and we are very much pleased to have him here. And we want to say welcome and thank you for coming. And that has been, let's welcome Mr. Amadou Jobet. Of course, our first speaker for today's event, already when he made his submission, was very much succinct. Thankfully for PAN Kenema, we are having so many like-minded individuals that are employing the executive to tap on their potentials and see how best you too can benefit and learn from them. So our next judge will be Mr. Martin Sakendo. Let's clap for him, please. And another judge will be the guest speaker. Is a good speaker, is a communicator, and above all, he likes to serve humanity. Please let's clap for Mr. Ibrahim Tati Kogoma. And very soon, Mr. Tati will be getting married. Tati has already been taken. Clap for him for that. And it's requesting for all our chapters in Kenema, we need 20 members. So 20 times 20. How many? So grace the reception of the wedding. 400. So 400 members for PAN. Please don't deceive me. They say we not get my put 400 people and for go and marry. I say, hey, that no joke with you. Would you go ahead?
Yes.
And we have another beautiful lady with us. You know why I sat between these two ladies?
No.
Okay. You want to know?
Yes.
Both of them went through my trainings since when they were schooling. This I have her since she was 13 years old. This when she was 15, 16 years. So they are the things that I want you to learn. Listen. The thing I want you to learn from is that they are sheets for the judges. Please, Mr. Tati, don't get it for. So now they are calling on Mr. Moses Godin from Government Senior Secondary School, Kenema. Let's clap for Mr. Moses. We are calling on Madam Aminata Dase from Every Nation Academy. We are calling on Mr. John A. Alpha. Mr. John A. Alpha from St. James. Please take the center as we call on you. We are calling on Madam Mariama Jalwa from Anzawo. And we are calling on Madam Maribel A.S. Levy from CIA. Finally, we are calling on Mr. Mambu F. Faika from Islamic Secondary School. Let's clap for him once more. So, beloved brothers and sisters, participants, you are about to ballot based on your appearance on stage. Is that okay? Take one.
I'm here for now and never. Growing up was a time back, a steady, said I said up. Now why the channel keep on by the way to change it better? Give this to my people.
London.
man. Please, sit in front.